Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I've Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. It is time for another happy hour, the second to last one of the year. Pretty sure. We're closing in on the end of the year, so we want to take a survey of some things we're thankful for. But first, as always, drink responsibly if you choose to do so. Samantha, what are you sipping on?
I feel like this is my staple. I always seem to have it in the house, but I'm drinking my Vino Verde from Trader Joe's, my $5 bottle of wine. It doesn't make me super sleepy, and it's crisp and lovely and very green apple-y. That's my to-go keep in house stock. Because I will say I do love red wine. That's probably my fave, but it makes me a little more sleepy sometimes. So it doesn't feel as appropriate for our happy hour.
Yeah.
Because it would be a sleepy hour.
I kind of like the idea of a sleepy hour. That feels right half the time. We're very tired a lot, everyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh,
it
gosh.
is. It is. And actually, it's appropriate for today because we've been recording a long time today because we're trying to wrap everything up for the end of the year. So bear with us. It is December 17th, 2021. I feel like I have to put a timestamp on everything because who knows what could happen within the next hour. I'm drinking a gin and tonic, which is also my staple. Just simple. Although now I wish I had opened, I do have a bottle of sparkling wine, but it's too late. It's too late. And I love a good gin and tonic.
It's true.
So we did want to go over some things as we're closing out the year that we're thankful for. Thankful can be a very loaded term, but putting that aside for now, just as we're closing out the year. One of the things I was curious about, because the pandemic is awful. I think we can all agree it has been awful. But is there anything during this year, during this pandemic, that you've been thankful for? Either something that helped you get through it, or like I know a lot of people were thankful just to have kind of a pretty steady excuse to stay in. Anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as the introvert, it is not the healthiest for me to be in all the time. And since going out recently, you and I went to a outside event with this really small amount compared to what we typically do of iHeart podcasters doing our little end of the year celebration. I was super awkward, like painfully awkward. Like my quick exit goodbye, the one where you don't tell anybody and you just try to slip out, did not go successfully because of my awkwardness. My first attempt went down the wrong way, so that means I had to come back. The second attempt, I had to come back because I left my jacket. And then at my third, final attempt, I was standing ready to leave, getting my valet, found out I did the valet wrong, having to make excuses and run away from everyone. So hasn't been the healthiest of things, maybe, when it comes to learning social skills or relearning social skills. But I've been grateful to be able to just kind of nah, I'm good. And for what it is, I've been very grateful about being able to work from home and having a job. Because as we talked about, my job with the Department of Juvenile Justice ended right before the pandemic started. And that would have been such a disaster. And it would have been the timing, it was perfect that the end of the job happened. But I could not imagine trying to do that job. But this job was very accommodating to that. So both of those things, being able to be in this atmosphere, knowing that we can do it, has been quite delightful in its own realm, I guess.
Yes. Oh, 100% agree. It's definitely a privilege, but I'm very, very grateful for it. And I think what my answer is, no surprise, fan fiction.
Of course.
Star Wars, always. But also friends like you, Samantha, who have been there and we've been able to support each other and hang out and have our ups and downs together and then just be so comfortable in each other's presences that we're just in PJs.
I flashed you the other day. I didn't mean to, but completely had no mindset to it. And I was like, oh, my bad.
This was a friend. This was a friend event, not a work event. No sexual harassment claims,
No.
It was totally
I'm just
fine.
saying we're so comfortable with each other, that we do hang out often outside of work. And then I was talking to you, trying to show you something, forgetting. I was like, oh, well, damn, okay, my bad. I guess I'm really comfortable with you. And you didn't flinch. That part I appreciated as well.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. So I appreciate that level of friendship that we've been able to have and maintain during all of this. Okay, also I wanted to ask, like, podcast specific, anything you're thankful for? Obviously, the working from home. I don't know if there's any topic that resonated with you or just listeners, anything like that.
I have really appreciated the responses to our podcast. So I know, especially when you and I are talking very vulnerably, letting people know what we're thinking, people have reached out to us and been very appreciative, sharing their own stories. And that's such a privilege to be able to share something with you and then coming back and feeling the trust from y'all to tell us your story as well. Because this is our job. Don't get me wrong, we don't have to, but this is our job. And for you to share with us and feeling connected with us, that is such a privilege. And I will say one of the ones was a parentification episode. I was really proud of what we did with that, because it is so unheard of or not talked about out loud, even though everybody kind of knows what it is. And then having so many of you writing in, talking about your own experiences, trying to move past it, or trying to figure out how to navigate that trauma as parents yourself. Like things like that is so amazing. And I cannot tell you what happens when I read this. It really gets to my heart and just feeling so connected, so much like community in a way that I never expected, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I want to be accepted, but this is this whole new level of just being loved as a community and hoping that we were returning that same love when we were sharing with you these things and letting you know we really, I feel like whatever I respond back is not enough to tell you how much it means to us when you tell us or share with us something so personal. And I think I felt the same way, again, like when they would express to you, just me reading it, about feeling so connected to you, about certain things. I've had listeners write to us about my adoption experiences and their adoption experiences. And then also having a couple of people connect with me on the not wanting babies or to giving us really good advice on life stances like that. Stuff like that has been part of my favorite thing of being on this podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There are episodes that are so vulnerable and scary for us to do. And for instance, one that I think of was when a Monday Mini I did about not being pretty enough. It was about sexual assault, and it was really hard. And I remember when it happened because it was like Labor Day weekend, and I just couldn't get it off my mind. And so many of you wrote in, and you were so kind and so open with your own experiences, and it's very, very rewarding, and just it helps. It does help, feel not alone, but also kind of healing of hearing from other people and hearing okay, that resonated. I've also really enjoyed getting to do fiction. I'm so excited about that. And it's just, honestly, it's always a learning experience. I've learned so much through this podcast, and I continue to, and I learned so much through you listeners. I learned from you, Samantha. So that's amazing. And I'm just so thankful for it. It's exciting. And also, Christina, our amazing super producer, started this year and just took off with it and handled all of these. We're like, well, we do, 5 episodes a week plus a classic, and we kind of do this way and this way and this way. And she's just a champ and so amazing.
I mean, and yes, to that note, our team, we were very sad when Eves left us, but we know that she is doing what she needs to do and doing amazing things. And she's also still around, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
But she was just our executive producer for a while, and then she left, and now we have Maya. And so having this dynamic team that I feel like are all on the same page, I love it. Having that workspace, because again, I am very isolated with just y'all.
Yeah.
This has been a privilege to be in this group.
Yes, totally agree. And also, don't worry, Eves is still coming on for Female First.
Oh, yeah.
We love her too much, and she cannot go away ever.
We could never let her go.
So here's my closing question for you, Samantha. And this is brought on by a discussion we had with a friend of mine about what these fictional candles that are supposed to be what a character smells like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you were a candle, what do you think you'd smell like?
So it has to be a little bit spicy because apparently my dry wit is intimidating, is what I've been told by a couple, actually, recently of fellow podcasters, to one of which was with Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. He told me, I was like, okay, yeah, I know this. And another one, I can't remember which one, but essentially it was like, yeah, I don't know how to, I can't tell if you're mad at me or you're being funny. So I feel like if we could get some kind of chili pepper type of smell, but also because I am genuinely like, I am caring enough and I try to, you know, make you feel comfortable. I am very intense though. I know this as well. That I would probably be something like a vanilla, which is warm, but very like, you need to wake up. Or maybe a mint. I can't remember which is better. Like something, I don't want to be eucalyptus because that's too much. But maybe I am. Is that bad? But I feel like I would be definitely like a spicy, if there was a spicy version of like a spicy cinnamon bourbon-ish, that would be me.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. I think mine is very based on kind of the products I use and smells I like, but mine, I feel like a lavender, cinnamon, flower kind of thing. But if I was like going by like, if I symbolically, it would have to be more earthy. I feel like I'm an earthy soul.
I see.
Yeah.
So does that mean like being mossy smell or piney smell or campfire?
I feel like a kind of a mossy, like clean, kind of that clean water, clean air, breeze thing. But there would have to be not necessarily something spicy, but like a spice, because there's also, I don't know. This is a deep question.
Yeah, you did. Well, I want to turn this around and ask how you would describe me, and I want to describe you.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
Like, I'm ready. You want me to tell you what I think you would smell like?
Yes.
So, in my mind, for you, you see, I'm very ready. Like, lemongrass would be a smell that would come for you because you're the life of the party. People want to be around you, whether you know it or not. And people are attracted to that. And like, to me, lemongrass is fresh, very vibrant. And it also, it kind of like surprises you, but you want to be around that more. I love that. Lemongrass is probably one of my favorite herbs and spices and scents. So I feel like lemongrass would be a part of that. And again, something like a lemon because it wakes you up and people around you liven up. Like literally our person who takes care of the parties asked you about it because you are the life of the party. People don't go to things unless typically you are there. So I feel like that would be, or an orange blossom, something very citrusy that wakes you up in the mornings, ready to go, but is still like very refreshing to be around. So I would say maybe like a cinnamon orange blossom or something in that realm would be your candle.
Aww. I love it. That's so nice. Now I'm like, can we make these candles?
I know. I was hoping someone would come and listen to this and then create it for us.
Yes. Oh, I would love that too. I feel like you would have a very like calming, comforting, welcoming smell, but then there would be that like that back of like spice or heat. So I'm trying to run through the Rolodex of things that might fit that. Because I also, like, I'm bad at describing taste. I'm bad at remembering what things smell like.
I like this.
Yes, I'm trying my best. I feel like maybe I'm thinking of something kind of like there's a kind of like a grapefruit, cucumber, but then like a fresh, I actually really love this smell, but like the fresh kind of linen or like just laundry that's just come out.
Oh, yeah. I love that smell. It's one of my favorites.
It's so good. I feel like you would have that.
I would hug you like a
yes,
warm
you
blanket
feel,
out of the dryer.
Yeah, you feel like a nice, comforting hug.
This is going to get to a really sweet moment, but I want to be a blanket.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then a nice kind of, nice spicy something on the back. But yeah. Like a warm hug on a fall day.
Maybe I'm a margarita, but not like a spicy, like a grapefruit margarita, but with a jalapeno in it.
Yeah.
Or a habanero, if we were a cocktail. Okay, we'll have to do these questions later because I have so many other thoughts.
If you were a cocktail, what would you be? Now I want to think about that too. Okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yes, cheers to you. We want to know, if you were a candle or a cocktail,
what would you be? If you have other ideas about us, let us know.
Yes, please let us know. And I seriously am like, can we make these candles?
Now I want to but I also want to describe Christina, who I think she's like chocolatey, like smell to her. Like she is surprising, quiet, and subtle. So like dark chocolate, but like she's there and her very presence is very well known. I love dark chocolate. It's one of my favorites. So I hope that's not offensive, but I'm like, I feel like that's her.
Yeah, maybe some coffee in there. And yes, we would love to get these responses from you. Very important. You can email us at stuffmediamomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Instagram at Stuff Mom Never Told You or on Twitter at MomStuffPodcast. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina.
Again, my chocolatey candle.
My chocolatey candle. You're going to get us in trouble. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Mom Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.